The house was already sold. The papers were signed. The new owner was standing outside with a real estate agent, ready to change the locks. But when Emma arrived, she didn't look angry. She looked terrified. Her older brother, Jason, stared at her and said, "It's over, Emma. Mom's house belongs to someone else now." Emma looked at the house one last time. Then she whispered, "You really sold it without checking the basement." Jason laughed. "What's in the basement?" Emma looked at him. "You'll find out." That was the moment Jason stopped smiling. Because their mother had left one final secret behind. And their entire family had just sold the house without realizing what they were giving away. 3 months earlier, Emma's mother had passed away after a long illness. She left behind one small house in a quiet neighborhood. It wasn't a mansion. It wasn't worth millions. But it was the only place Emma had ever called home. Her mother had raised her there. Every room carried a memory. The kitchen where they cooked together. The little garden her mother cared for every morning. And the basement that Emma's mother had always told her never to enter alone. After the funeral, Jason wanted to sell the house immediately. "We don't need an old house sitting there," he said. Emma disagreed. "Mom wanted us to keep it." Jason shook his head. "Mom isn't here anymore. We need to think practically." Emma still refused to sign. Then Jason and their aunt accused her of being selfish. They told her she was trying to keep the entire inheritance for herself. Under pressure, Emma finally stopped fighting. And Jason sold the house. But there was one thing the family didn't know. 2 weeks before her mother's death, Emma had received a strange letter. It contained only one sentence. "Look behind the old furnace before they sell the house." There was no signature. Emma never told anyone. The day the house was sold, she went back one last time. She entered the basement. The old furnace was still there. Emma moved a wooden shelf aside. Behind it was a small metal door. Her hands began to shake. She opened it. Inside was a locked box. And inside that box were dozens of documents. Property records, bank statements, old photographs, and one handwritten letter from her mother. Emma opened it. The first line read, "Emma, if you're reading this, it means your brother sold the house." Emma's eyes filled with tears. Her mother had known this might happen. The letter explained that years earlier, Jason had secretly borrowed money using the house as collateral. He had promised to repay it. He never did. Emma's mother had discovered everything. But instead of confronting him, she quietly gathered the evidence. There was more. The house wasn't simply an old family property. Years earlier, Emma's mother had placed the property into a protected family trust. According to the original documents, Jason had no legal authority to sell it without Emma's approval. The sale wasn't valid. Emma immediately contacted an attorney. The new buyer was notified. The sale was stopped, and Jason's secret financial records were finally exposed. When Emma confronted him, Jason couldn't even look at her. "You knew Mom would never let me have the house," he said. Emma shook her head. "No, Jason. Mom knew exactly what you were capable of." Jason looked at the documents. Then he asked quietly, "Why didn't she tell you?" Emma held up her mother's letter. "She did." Jason's face fell. Emma didn't keep the house because she wanted revenge. She kept it because it was the last thing her mother had trusted her to protect. Months later, Emma restored the house exactly the way her mother had left it. The garden was alive again. The kitchen was warm again. And the old basement door was locked forever. Because sometimes, the most valuable thing hidden inside a house isn't money. It's the truth. And when your own family tries to sell your past, they may accidentally reveal exactly who they really are.